What's cooking, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we're jumping into some Orcs Must Die Unchained. This time we are heading into the Temple Graveyard with Oziel. So let's go ahead and get started. I do have a pre-made deck that I generally use for this map. I'll probably tweak this one a bit, because I actually play around with it a lot. As far as, like, you know, it's just not being sort of set in stone. So, oh, that's not it. Graveyard, there we go. So yeah, that's pretty much what I usually do, except I'm with Oziel now, so no. And we don't need these. We can go with these. I do like to use regular barricades here, but they're not necessary. You can use the larger barricades, but it limits your design options just because of that extra space. And the map is kind of big, but the actual traversable space is not that large. Actually, most of the things here have gotten kind of buffed. Well, actually, no. This has gotten nerfed. This has gotten buffed. This has gotten kind of nerfed. Everything else is pretty much the same. Floor spikes had a minor nerf a few patches back. But, ooh, shoulder crack. That ain't good. Stuff that I want to change here. Feeling fierce because I'm ranged. Those work. And we'll stick with the Dragonlance. Don't need Enjoys Pain at all. I don't really need anything in this slot. There's really nothing that's going to destroy barricades here. Well, so we can take a free level up. Alright, and that should be good. Let's go ahead and get this fired up. Boo.
I'm only here because there will be many deaths.
He's right about that. Gonna grab Dark Urges immediately. And then we're gonna shove a sock in this area. Then these guys are basically gonna start out here. Generally, I like to shove a couple of these here. You can move this even over have space if you wanted to. It's not really necessary. But
you must place that trap on the wall.
Yeah, I know. Alright, this one you're completely okay with placing it back that way. Now, I generally don't use
so much
nope. I generally don't use slows on this map because the time par used to be super tight, and because of that I didn't want to have to deal with like cleaning up a lot of minions. So that's kind of why I use the traps that I do on it. They're generally going to be a bit of damage over time with some burst damage from the walls and the floor spikes. And for the most part, they get the job done really well.
I will reap them.
You can use another barricade to force enemies to path into the wall. You really only need it down here though. As long as you're forcing enemies to hug this wall, they kind of will not tend to veer to this side at all, and they'll stay over here. Alright, let's go ahead and get this fired up.
The enemy has opened a minion portal.
They've broken through a gate.
Presents. Death for you and souls for me. That was a lot of souls. Good presents. Oh gosh. Flipping stilt orcs is always a pleasure to see. Just because how janky it looks. It's like, oh, I didn't know they installed a trapeze.
I almost feel sorry for them. Almost.
Alright, and this area is pretty much done. There's not much else we can do except throw up a couple more wall traps here, and here, and here. The thing about arrow walls is really it's just about spamming them. They're pretty much the floor spikes of the wall traps. But you don't want to waste all of your traps here because you have a few other areas to worry about. And they're dead now. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and prepare for what we'll be dealing with later now. No, what I wanted to do was that. Well, actually, yeah, we're gonna path everybody up to the right. These guys should basically be dead before that happens.
Watch out! An unstable rig
Why,
is
hello
opening.
there.
Get to it and destroy it.
They flipped like right as I threw my jar. Alright, thank you. Come again. Okay, we don't have anybody to give us a nice little speed boost yet. I'm gonna drop one right here as I'm kind of rushing through this. And then what I like to do is to force these guys to have to path this way. And then put some Bernie stuff behind them. And then one of those. And then you can also block that side. And then do something like that. Now, I generally don't mind taking a couple of minor hits with Oziel because, as you can see, his regular attack will just regenerate your health by getting into combat. It's pretty solid. Alright, and then you got this knucklehead to worry about. Get at him before he drops his shield, and you should be alright. Alright, and I think after this wave we probably have 2 before coming. Really shouldn't be that big of a deal. I didn't bring any BGH traps here though, so this is going to have to be purely a solo hero thing. Shouldn't be that big of a problem though. I should have placed a guardian up here though. Because that's basically what I'm going to have to run and do. So we're going to do lightning ring, firewall, jar, souls, and there we go. Pretty much already set for life up there. Okay. We're going to want to block this. Add some more Bernie stuff here for these guys. Fire, floor spikes, because they're still going to try to path this way. Block this, and then we start up here.
Is this what I'm reduced to? Setting traps?
Oh. Nope, didn't turn fast enough or in the right direction.
Or several?
Alright, that's just about everybody. Now we can start to get really devious. So, have a good amount of stuff in this area.
Their deaths will be...
Ballista are going to be pretty good here, both at hitting targets back there, as well as hitting things that come out of here, and try to path around the barricades that we're building over here. Actually gonna do one of these too. Oh, we got another one of you guys. Oh, say hello to Vexing Surge. Gonna drop this off. I thought I pushed Q. Apparently I didn't. Pickups are an Oziel's best friend.
Enemies incoming! They've broken through on another front!
Eternity is a trap in its own way. More than one way to stay.
Alright, that's pretty much everything we can afford to place immediately. Then we're going to want to get another one of these guys facing that way. Yeah, might as well put another one of these there, and then we'll put a Bernie bit right there. And maybe sprinkle some arrow walls over there again. Gotta be careful with spammable traps though, because we're still gonna want some traps to deal with that center gate. Yeah, hurry up and die. Alright, that should be everything. I think we get the center gate in 2 more waves. I was right. Yeah, you guys just eat that. Normally we want to try to extend this path a bit, but considering everything we're going to have to deal with soon, not a good idea. Oop, okay. That's, yeah, there you go.
Our barricades are under attack.
Didn't place the Guardian yet, and that can be problematic. Why the weird hunter routes? They're half dead already. Alright, we will have to go back and check whatever it is that Kobold is placing. As the Kobold always has the opportunity to ruin a lot of things. We also want to get a couple of those up. Okay. That hit. I was kind of conflicted between hitting the troll and hitting the Kobold there. I wound up hitting neither one. That was a bad idea. Alright, lots of fire and lightning for you guys. Anything I need to worry about? Doesn't look... Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
You must die for me to take you.
Okay, now I'm slow and I haven't set up the traps I need for these guys. So, here's some birdie bits. Ah, that one didn't go down. Alright.
Unstable rift is opening. Quick, destroy it.
Whoa, that's a lot. I didn't see me on fire. We're gonna take on ectoplasmic explosion now, and this doesn't put us in too bad a position actually, because of where these guys spawn. Got it.
Our heroes destroyed the unstable rift, and there was much rejoicing.
Got it. Nice. Those actually aren't the worst locations it could spawn. You don't want it to be back there and back where the water is at the same time, because those are scary. And if you're on a chaos trial and you happen to get like additional unstable rift spawns, then you can get something like that, and again, scary. Arrows. There we go. Alright, so we're pretty much almost done with the traps that we can place. We're probably going to want to focus a bit more on just keeping this area sort of safe-ish. And that ballista probably isn't the best thing we can use here. The ballista is good if you don't want to use the swinging maces in this line here. But if you do want to use swinging maces, then ballista is really not for you. There we go. We can recharge. Got a ton of mana. Alright, what is still coming out? Alright. One of the issues with the time on this map is just how staggered the waves are.
Boss minion defeated.
Alright, 2 more waves to go. What do we have coming out here? The null breeder, and just have to toss that because nice. The I'm not even sure if it was just the the Wraith Surge that killed him, but it feels like he kind of got blown up by the Kamikaze Kobolds too, and I'd like to think that that actually played a good part in him dying. Just because that makes me feel better. Oh jeez, these guys are flipping all over the place. Alright. Alright, got about 2 minutes to go and we're on the final wave. So I think this kind of works its way from the start to the end of everything. Whoa, they tossed a nade.
Our barricades are under attack.
So if you take them out, go to wherever the enemies are now accumulating, near your guardian. Here, you just gotta die. No taking a nap here. And then as soon as it looks like these guys are done, what's going to happen is you get another batch coming out of here. Nope. You can keep your little homing projectiles to yourself. I want no parts of them. Alright, blow this mana. Boom. Grab it all back. And that should be it.
They will not pass.
He was right. Alright. So yeah, the temple graveyard, not too bad. There was a couple of things I could have placed there a bit more optimally, but that's alright. It worked out. But we are going to be moving on to the Highlands next. The Highlands and Avalanche always been interesting maps. More so the Highlands because it is just so large that without something like a teleportation ring or the stable hand guardian, you have to use these passages to move around and the portals, and it usually means you fight better in the rear where the gates or the lanes sort of converge rather than at the front lines. But they stagger the waves too, so you can kind of move from right to left as the enemies come out, and because of the length of time that it takes them to path here, you actually do really well doing it that way. But that'll be for another time. Either way, let me know what you guys think of this so far, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks as always for tuning in, and as always, have a good one, folks.